Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Brian with Real Estate and Economics today. What if I told you that you can live and own a multifamily in New Jersey for only $1,000 a month? That's right, folks. Live and own a multifamily property in New Jersey for only $1,000 a month. Some of you might be thinking, Brian, that's crazy. Rent is over $2,000. How can I own and live in a property for only $1,000 a month? And that's what I'm going to show you guys today. So stay tuned. Before we get started, here's a quick disclosure, guys. The information provided in this video is for general informational purposes only and not intended as financial, insurance, or mortgage advice. You should always seek the advice of a qualified professional when making any financial decisions. For specific quotes, please contact a licensed mortgage broker and insurance broker. Guys, so own and live in a multifamily in New Jersey for $1,000 a month. Some of you guys are probably saying, Brian, this is way too good to be true. This can't be real. I'm going to walk you guys through it, show you how you guys can own and live in a property for only $1,000 a month in New Jersey. So the property we have here is a duplex side by side. I really like these. This one's in the town of Phillipsburg, New Jersey, the county Warren, just about an hour or so outside of Newark. It's 2 units, 4 bed, 2.5 bath. 1 unit is currently rented for $1,200. We have a second unit, a little bit higher at $1,250, has public sewer, so you don't have to worry about septic, public water, so you don't really have to worry about your well running dry. Heating and cooling is natural gas, which is great, right? You're not paying for those super expensive oil prices, and it's forced air, so you're not relying on hot water baseboard or radiators or steam, anything of that nature. So this property, let's hit the link, let's check it out. Give you guys a little bit of deeper insight, some more pictures, see what it's all about. So guys, duplex side by side, right? I really like these. I like these better than the over-unders. I feel when it's separated units side by side like that with, a basement, a first floor, and then a second floor, sometimes even an attic. I feel like these rent out for more money than the over-unders, and they're a lot more desirable because you have like your own unit there. So getting right into it, I mean, there's not a ton of pictures, guys. The real estate agent on this property did not do a good job at all. It looks like he took these with, his iPhone or his flip phone or whatever. Guys, if you're ever selling a property and your agent takes these kind of pictures, fire this guy or gal right away. Look at this. He has the lady in the picture with the cane. Come on. With the coffee. Come on. You got to take better pictures than this. So if you're ever hiring an agent, and he comes and he takes these kind of pictures, fire him on the spot. This is, definitely not acceptable. But, it's what we got to work with. And you know what? Sometimes as an investor and a buyer, property with these crappy pictures are sometimes good for us because it turns a lot of people away. People are like, it looks like crap. I'm not going to see that, right? But sometimes you get in there and the place has some potential. But, looking through, it looks like laminate floors, right? You come in here and you paint it. There's no recessed lights. It's just one light in the room, it looks like here. Not bad. I think with some paint, some better decor, this place could look actually halfway decent. But there's not that many pictures. But that's what we got to work with. But when it comes down to the numbers, guys, this is what tells the story here. So again, let's just go through it, right? It's a 4 bed, 2.5 bath. It's a side by side duplex, right? Like I said, it's central air, forced hot air, public sewer. Gas and, natural gas for the heating and cooling. So it's a pretty decent property. Taxes are only, $5,459, super low, which allows this property, to potentially, become a little bit of a deal. So let's get right into it. So you guys are asking me $1,000 a month, right, Brian? How can that be? How are you going to pay $1,000 a month and live in this property? So let me show you guys. So this is how the math breaks down. The property is currently, being sold for $270,000. Let's say you buy it at $270,000. It's been on the market, a little bit. I think I could get a better deal than this. But let's say you bought it at the ask price of $270,000. With a 5% down payment on a 30-year fixed mortgage, with an interest rate of 6.25. Again, talk to a licensed broker. This could be a little bit higher, could be a little bit lower, but definitely talk to a professional. Again, this is just for general information purposes. But, let's just say right around 6.25. If you're not putting down 20%, folks, again, talk to a mortgage broker because a lot of them have different programs. But in general, if you're not putting at least 20% down on the property, you're going to be paying some type of, private mortgage insurance, PMI. So here it had a calculator about $107 a month. Property taxes, right, like I reviewed in the last slide, $5,459. And homeowners insurance, guys, again, talk to a professional. I budgeted about $1,500. Could be less if you're living in the property. If you bought this with your car insurance, right, you might be able to get a deal, get this a little bit cheaper. But just for this example here, we're putting $1,500. So with all that said, right, paying back the bank, paying the taxes, and paying your homeowners insurance, your monthly payment is $2,266. So you're saying, Brian, this isn't $1,000 a month. This is $2,266. Yes, but here's how we get to you only paying $1,000 a month. So your mortgage is $2,266, right, as we just discussed. Remember, one of the units you're getting $1,250. You have another one at $1,200. That person's lease looks like it's up. If you're going to be buying this property as an owner-occupant, you need one of the units vacant so you can move in. I would kick out the person that's paying less, $1,200, move into that unit, and then after collecting rent from the other unit, your total out-of-pocket to live here and own this property, guys, is $1,016 every single month. $1,000. Great deal. And then also, another thing is, let's say you're living in a rental right now, guys, right? Let's say you're there for 2 years. Let's say it's 2 years you're at this property. When you leave this property, what are you getting back? You're lucky if you get back your security deposit, guys. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of landlords will sit there and pick through the apartment and say, hey, this wasn't like this wasn't like that, you broke this. Guess what? You're only getting back half your security deposit, or you're not getting it all. If you're lucky, you get the whole thing back. So let's say you get back your security deposit, right, guys? That's all you're getting. And if your rent was $2,000 a month, you were there for 2 years, that's $48,000, guys, that you're paying. $48,000, and you're getting back maybe your security deposit if you're lucky. If you own this property, not only are you paying only $1,000 a month to live there, but every single year you're paying down principal on the loan, right? So after the first 2 years, guys, you've paid down $6,000, right? Where, let's say if you're renting somewhere else, when you leave after 2 years, you get zero. You get your security deposit back if you're lucky. Here, you got $6,000 paid off on your property. If you stay there 5 years, guys, you've paid down $17,000, right? Think about how many folks that have been in rentals their whole lives, guys, right? Let's just say somebody that was there for 5 years. When you leave after 5 years, you're getting back zero, guys. Here, after 5 years, you just paid $17,000. So it's almost like a forced savings account for something that you need, right? You need to live in a property. So instead of renting something, buy your own, especially a two-family. I think it's a great first option for folks just to get into. You have one side that's being rented. You're paying $1,000 a month to live in the other side, and then you're paying down debt, guys. So after 5 years, you pay down $17,000. Now, could you ask me, Brian, okay, it's $1,000 a month to live in there, great. Now, can this be a deal? Can you make this a deal? Can this deal get any sweeter than the $1,000 a month? And the answer is yes, folks. So after digging into the numbers and looking at this property, there's 3 tactics you can implement over time that will make this an even sweeter deal than you only paying $1,000 a month. Those 3 things are bring rent up to market value, refinance, move out, and rent your unit. And we'll get into each one of these individually. So the first one, bring rent up to market value. So currently you have one tenant at $1,250. After looking at the current properties that were rented in the area, the market value for rents, guys, is $1,500. And I'll show you a couple examples here in just in a second. So remember, your current market rent is $1,250. If you get this person up to $1,500, which is the fair market rent, you have an increase of $250 a month, right? So now your new out-of-pocket, instead of being $1,016, your new out-of-pocket now is only $766, guys. That's crazy. Some people's car payments are higher than $766, and you get to live and own in a property. I think it's a great option. Let me show you guys those rented properties, right? So here we have one. It's also a 2-bed, 1-bath, right? Just like ours. It rented for $1,500, guys, right? And the cool thing about it that I see as a big plus and a positive, it was only days on market. It was only on the market 8 days. That means there was, a good amount of demand, folks, right? So if the property's on 8 days and it gets rented right away for the price that you put it on for, that shows a pretty healthy rental market, if you ask me. So let's look at this one. And the thing about this one, guys, that ours is a lot better. This one's an over-under, right? So you got to live below someone, right? And you might hear someone, walking up and upstairs, right? The other one, you're separated. So that one might even be able to fetch a little bit more money. This one, the realtor took a little bit better pictures, right? The bathroom looks pretty updated. And this one has basement access, like your side, because if it's a side-by-side, that side gets basement access as well. This one here is on the first floor, and there's this one, 2-bed, 1-bath, rented for $1,500. We have another one. This one's similar to ours, right? It's a separated unit. This one rented for $1,550, right, guys? So there might be, you can probably get $1,550, maybe even $1,600. Depends what your property looks like. Again, this one's only on the market 63 days, rented fairly quickly. So let's take a look at this one. Again, it's like a separated unit, right? You have the first floor, second floor. Assume this one has a basement as well. So, the typical half duplex, right? You have the living room, possibly dining room, kitchen, maybe a bathroom on the first floor. So this is the bed. This looks like, is the bedrooms upstairs. So not a bad property, guys. And this one rented for $1,550. Very similar to ours. So the rent increase from $1,250 to $1,500, you're saving a good amount of money. An extra $250 you're saving, bringing your new payment to $766. So that's the first part of it. That's the first part of how you can start transforming this property into a little bit better of a deal as time goes on. Second will be the refinance, right, guys? So currently, you have a rate and a payment of 6.25% is your rate, and your current monthly payment is $2,266. If you refi after year 2 at 4%, your new payment is going to be $1,879. Right, that's a savings of an additional $387 that you're saving on your mortgage, guys. Right, so right now mortgages, are what they are, right? They're at 6.25, but it's not unrealistic that we start seeing 4% mortgages in the future, right? So let's say 2 years. If after 2 years you refinance this property at 4%, you're now paying $387. Also, note here, guys. I left the mortgage insurance in here when making this calculation just to be a little more conservative. Depending on where the market is and what you've done to the property, you could possibly have 20% equity in the property. And if you do, you're not going to pay this extra $100. So you might actually be saving around $487, right, guys? So you might be saving, an extra $100 a month. This is, probably a worst case option if you still keep the PMI in there if you don't have that 20% equity. So now, guys, if you, still keep that person on, on the other side of the property, you still keep them at $1,250, your new payment on the refi, $629 a month. Great deal, right? Again, people's car payments are higher than $629 a month. Now, if you combine that with the rent increase, so if you took that person, you increased up the market $1,500, right? We did the 4% refinance. Now your new out-of-pocket, guys, $379. What a deal. I mean, I almost spend it on haircuts every month. And now you get to own and live in a property, right? Think about it. You're paying $379 to live somewhere. How much money are you throwing out every month renting somewhere? $2,000, $3,000 every single month you're throwing out. Here you get to live in this place. You get to rent it out. And you're only paying $379 per month, guys. And not only that, you're paying down debt every single year. You're paying down debt. So that's the second element of turning this into a sweeter deal. Now let's bring it home. The third and final step that you can take to make this into a much better deal is you move out eventually when you save up enough money to buy the next one. You move out and rent your unit, right? So now if you move out and rent out your unit at the current market rate of $1,500, now your new total rents that you're collecting every month is $3,000 a month. If you kept that same 6.25 loan, right, with that payment of $2,266, now, not only you're not paying anything for the property, you're receiving $734 a month, guys. So you went from, paying, every single month $700, $1,000, $600, depending on where you're at with the refinancing, to now, if you keep the same loan at 6.25, you're now going to be receiving $734 every month, guys. That looks like a pretty sweet deal to me. Now, if you kept those rents, moved out, now you had $1,500 each side, $3,000 combined, and you refinanced at 4% with a new payment of $1,879, now you're receiving cash flow after your mortgage of $1,121, guys. Now you're receiving $1,000. So now if you bought another place, right, another multifamily, same profile, where you had to now pay another $1,000, right, every month to own this new place, guess what? The cash flow from your previous property pays for this one. Now you have two properties being paid down and you're pretty much living for free. Not only that, guys, you're paying down principal every single month. Look at this. Not only do you receive $1,000 a month in cash flow, you're also paying off $4,000 a year down on your debt, guys, right? So it's not even you, it's your tenant that's paying off your debt. So you're able to put $250,000 somewhere and someone else pays it down for you. After 30 years, that $250,000 is paid off by someone else other than yourself, your tenants, guys. And you're receiving $1,100 plus every single month. So why not get out of, your rental and look into a multifamily like this? If this is something that interests you guys and you're really serious about getting to your first multifamily, give me a call. I'm a licensed real estate agent with Remax Central. I deal with commercial and residential. I specifically work with investors and help them achieve their goal of financial freedom. So if this is something that you're really interested in, guys, give me a call and we'll help your dream come true. Thanks.